This video was sponsored by Geek Buying. Hello everyone, today's video is going to be a bit different. I was contacted by the Geek Buying company with proposition to review this console. Please keep in mind that I was not paid for this promotion. I only got the console for free, so everything that I say comes directly from me. There was no script or anything like that. As you can see, the console is brand new. It's the RG40XXH model. The box itself looks pretty nice. It gives a feeling of a premium product. The outlines are actually embossed. I've received 256GB model, but that's just basically the size of the micro SD card. The box itself opens just like the iPhone box. It opens slowly to give you the feeling of the anticipation. The console itself wasn't really properly packaged, I think. It comes in the back with some kind of styrofoam pad on top of it. Rest of the box is just the basic plastic mold. Behind it was a really small manual and USB-C cable. USB cable doesn't actually look half bad. I will definitely have a use for it. The manual, on the other hand, looks more like some sort of pamphlet. It has all of the required information, but it doesn't really look super premium to me. And also there weren't any kind of stickers inside the box, which is just straight up sad. I love promotional stickers. As you can see, half of the manual is in Chinese. The other half is in English. Let's take off the console sock for now and have a better look at the device. Foam cover is pretty nice, so I will put it away just in case. It will rest on the floor next to some other stuff. You might have noticed the dust on the screen. I've actually opened it before filming. Here you can see the build quality. It's pretty alright for its price. It's actually the best color available, the other ones were just nasty. All of the buttons feel nice to push and I didn't see any mold lines or anything like that. I believe the analog sticks are in fact the same ones as used in the Switch. On the top of the device you can find the USB-C port and mini HDMI. It's a shame that USB-C doesn't have a video output. On the bottom you can find two micro SD card slots and audio jack. Let's see what kind of SD cards I've got. Okay, so the first card doesn't seem too bad. I don't know this particular brand, but it seems okay. Okay, the second one seems super Chinese. It says that it's 256GB, but I have some doubts. Also, I think that the console itself would work way better with built-in NAND instead of SD card. You could leave one slot for additional storage, but two slots seem kinda weird. And well, it doesn't turn on. It's possible that it won't turn on at all without the SD cards. I'll put them back in and we'll see what happens. Still nothing. It's very much possible that it's just not charged. Let's charge it for a while and check if it solves the issue. I will be using quite powerful charger that came with my phone. It should charge the console no problem. Sometimes it's enough to just plug the power, not in this case though. It still won't turn on. I guess I will just leave it to charge for now. According to manual, all is well. After a couple of minutes, it actually turned on. I was a bit scared that I might have received a dud. It takes quite long to boot up. First thing I've noticed, apart from kinda ugly UI, is that obnoxious key sound. Why would you even need that? It sounds horrible. Thankfully you can turn it off. Actually, I haven't noticed the key sounds while recording since I listen to music while filming, so the past me is kinda fiddling about with controls at this point. As you can see, pretty much all of the buttons work as intended. There are also some various settings like RGB control as such. You can also change the language of the console. I didn't find mine though. You can change the icons for the uglier ones too. I was kinda disappointed that there is no wallpaper with big anime titties. Chinese consoles love doing this. Bit of a side story here, but I once received a console with built-in Austrian painter themes. Of course not this one.
Oh.
I've checked what was on the SD card, but I haven't found anything cool, just a bunch of ROMs. Of course now I have to wait for it to boot since I took out the SD card. Okay, so now we're back in the menu. As you can see, both SD cards are showing up in the console. There were a lot of ROMs installed by the manufacturer, but what's coolest are the ROM hacks, since some of them are so obscure that I've never actually seen them before. I'm not even sure that I can show them. There are also some apps installed, but I don't even know what kind of format is that. Okay, let's turn it off for now and see what's inside. Whole backplate is being held only by 4 screws and some plastic clips. It shouldn't be too difficult to open. Let's take out the SD cards for now. It's much safer this way. Okay, so the plastic clips are holding way too tighter than I thought, so I think I will have to use my opening tool. Actually, it's not even that easy with the special opening tool. There is not enough space to pry it open. Okay, so I've managed to pry it open just a little with regular knife, and now I will open the rest of it with plastic tool. It still is pretty hard though. Just a little bit more and we're in. And now it seems that it's open. The trigger button just fell off, but I'm sure it's fine. The very first thing I've noticed is how off-brand the battery is. It doesn't seem like any particular brand. Also, is it just me or is it a bit swollen? Maybe it just looks like that. The second thing I've noticed is the all-winner chip. It's pretty low tier chip and it's also paired with no-name RAM. I was expecting at least Hynix. Also, I would like to quickly highlight that this chip costs $9 per piece. I thought you might find it interesting. This small chip right here is for power. This one is pretty standard. There's also a bunch of other different stuff, but I won't really look into it. The one thing that actually intrigues me is wherever they use the analog sticks from this Nintendo Switch. I might have to remove some more stuff to get a better look at them. The bumper and trigger switches are actually just tact switches. Those are super cheap and I have like a million of them. Here is the trigger that fell off, by the way. I'll just push it back inside. This metal square right here is for the wireless communication. I just wanted to quickly show you my stack of tact switches. Those basically cost less than a cent. Okay, so I will now remove this board right here so I can take a better look at the analog sticks. Once more you can see the tact switches. Someone made a poor soldering job actually. It just shows you how easy they are to repair. I've been a bit sick lately, so my voice cracks a lot. Sorry for that. Okay, so let's remove the board now. There are only a couple of the screws holding it down. Of course, there are still some ribbon cables that need to be removed first. And here's the controller board in its full glory. Here you can see the RGB LEDs. Those basically illuminate the analog sticks. And here are the face buttons. Those are the basic rubber ones. Here are the face buttons from the other side. As you can see, they use those basic rubber thingies. Probably the best way to do face buttons, since there's a nice feel from pushing them and those won't degrade as fast as tact switches. And here is the joystick. It's being held down only by two screws. And here's the joystick. It does actually seem like the one used in Nintendo Switch. And here you can see basically the same joystick for $3. Anyway, so if one of those breaks, you can basically fix the console by yourself, which is great. So now it's basically time to put everything back as it was. I still want to show you how well it runs games. I've damaged it a bit when opening, but that's fine. It's not like I would show this to my friends. So now let's try playing some games. For this video I will be playing games which came with the console. And I'll start with the PSP since it's the most demanding console. As you can see, it really struggles with the 3D games. It becomes really choppy if there's a lot of stuff on the screen. You can actually hear the console slowing down on more populated areas. Here you can see how it performs in Tekken. It's a bit laggy at times, but it's not as bad as the GTA. Let's scale it down a bit and see how it performs with PS1 games. As you can see, it performs fairly well, since PS1 is not really that demanding. I've tested a couple of games and all of them perform fairly well. Buttons feel responsive and there is no input lag. Sound quality is really impressive too. 2D games such as GTA 2 perform perfectly well. It's pretty much expected, since those games are not demanding at all. My absolute favorite game to play on this console is the original Metal Gear Solid. It was my favorite childhood game, so it's really a nice throwback. Small screen and original aspect ratio make it look perfect. N64 works perfectly as well. There weren't any graphical issues or lags. I've tested only this one game, since the game selection on the SD card were severely limited. Game Boy Advance is my second favorite console after the PS1. The emulation is pretty much spot on and controls feel really nice. Whole system is pretty basic, so it doesn't really strain the console. The battery will last a lot longer when playing GBA games, in comparison to the 3D games of course. As you can see, in this particular game, the text is actually blacked out. I've got no idea why this is. It may be a bad ROM. The classic NES is pretty basic, so no surprises there that it works perfectly. It can be emulated on pretty much any hardware at this point. it's still a lot of fun nonetheless. When playing Contra, I think there are actually some graphical glitches. I'm not entirely sure because I never actually played Contra before. So the main question now is, would I recommend it? Sure, if you have some spare cash, it's a great way to relive some memories. I would personally not buy this with my own money, but I would be happy to get it as a gift. The build quality is pretty solid and it's pretty cheap, so if you like this kind of stuff then definitely go for it. You can grab one using my link below and using a coupon for additional discount. Thanks for watching everyone and see you in the next one.